I'm back early. Turns out the financial position was a bit worse than we all thought. Can anybody lend me a fiver? Hello everybody and welcome back to In the Dugout FM. I'm Millers, this is Sunday League to Champions League, and as you can see we are now well and truly on the old financial bus. We're in administration. I think we kind of understood, I said to you last time out that I was going to have a bit of a fire sale in January, but we're in administration and we've been dot points, which has really hurt our league position. But thankfully, we'd got ourselves into a place where we were doing okay up until that point. We're £161 million in debt. They've removed all transfer funding. I just sold two lads, and the administrators are telling me they're going to consider any reasonable offers for other players, which I assume means it's now out of my hands. I had planned quite an aggressive sale strategy this month anyway, but they're going to take it out of my hands entirely, and I'll show you a little bit about that in a minute. We're under an embargo, so we are where we are. We've failed to pay the players' wages, so the PFA have stepped in, and we're under an embargo. We've been docked 12 points, which is a huge number, really, but just shows you the severity of where we are. That, from a league perspective, we were 5th. And has now dropped us down to 12th. It's not the end of the world, but it's by no means ideal. But something else for us to learn from, right? We're on our management journey, we're learning. We're having to deal with serious adversity. That just shows you. So I'd got it down to 915 grand against a budget of 1.1 million, give or take. So I was working my damnedest to try and make sure we were okay. From a players out perspective, I mentioned I'd let two go. So Travis, our captain, by the way, got an offer on the first day of the window for what was above his asking price at the time anyway. And I couldn't say no. He wanted to talk to Bristol. He's 32, the boy. He was on 68 grand a week. So I said yes, once I managed to get it up to 7.5 million. So I think it rises to 9, dependent on clauses. I don't know if you can see that anywhere in here. I think it does. But that was the right move for the club. And then additionally, we'd got rid of Markandale. He'd never played for me. He was never going to play. He was on 68 grand a week. He's lost his position for his country. He'd stopped playing. It was a no-brainer. They offered, I think, $750,000 or the best part of 600k with additions. Fine, no problem at all. Off you pop. And actually, in the round, we've done all right. He's done very, very well financially out playing for us. But from a club perspective, we've probably covered our losses. So he's gone out as well. But other than that, that was the start of my plan, really. Cards on the table with you. Before anything else happens, I hadn't dealt with this one. That's worrying. So he'll probably go out on a contract. I'd accepted a bid from Saudi Arabia for Hayden. I'd managed to get it up to 12 million. So not really a problem for me. It'll go over the £15 million mark if he plays. So that again was a no-brainer, given the fact that the boy's there on a serious amount of money every single week at 78 grand. Again, in my plans to let him go, so I won't be perturbed if he goes. I was working on a bid with Middlesbrough for George Hall, knowing that actually I'll probably switch to 4-4-2 if that happens and put Tommy up with Esteban. And that current bid is significant too. So, 13 million. The boy's on a lot of money a week. So again, it was only going to serve to help us. But it looks like a lot of this is going to be taken. Oh, I'd also accepted a bid for Tom Davis from Hispalis. About 6.5, 5 million. Yeah, 6.5 million. Again, on big money. He's a good player. I really like the kid. In fact, I like him in real life. He's got a lot of engine, but I can't afford to pay him. So he was going to go. I'd rejected a bid for Morgan. He started playing, by the way. I've had a couple of words with him when I've sent him on. He started playing, but I'd rejected a bid because he came in below that 10 million, and I think 10 million's a snip for him, to be honest. So, yeah, I've rejected a bid for him so far, but we'll see. He doesn't want to be on the list, in fairness to him. But he's just not been playing because Goldie is next level. So, yeah. So we're in trouble, boys and girls. We're in trouble. Although, like I said, through adversity comes strength, right? Through adversity comes strength. So we are going to kick on and do our very, very best to get through this tumultuous time whilst maintaining our position in the Championship if we can. And it's going to mean a real season of work over the next 12 months for sure. We're on a good contract. We've got 3 years. We're protected. But we'll see how this pans out. Look, I'm going to come back to you. If anything happens in the next 5 days, I'll let you know. But all being well, I'll come back to you for the Swansea game. We'll do the Swansea game while you're here. But I would probably expect to see me again in January when we know the full fallout from all of this. Okay, everybody. Welcome back. And in the 5 short days that you've been gone, it's all going off. So, as you know, I was up for selling these anyway, so I'm not going to throw my toys out, right? We've sold Hayden. The deal made financial sense to me as well as the administrators. Fine. We sold Hawley. Didn't want to do it, but it made financial sense. Fine. And we sold Tom Davis. Right? All of those deals have gone through, which actually, yeah, I'm pleased with. We've got a transfer budget. I'm not going to touch it. I mean, I'm under an embargo anyway, so there's nothing I can really do. But it's interesting that they're giving me money there. But I'm going to leave it well alone. We're currently spending under 700 grand now against a wage budget of 1.1 million. So I've done my bit, right? But the administrators have now accepted an offer for Radek, which is an absolute nightmare because he's an absolute monster. And he's going to be one of the better keepers in the world, I would suggest. He's superb. Roma wants him. But they've accepted a really cheap bid of 9 million from Forest, who I think are having our pants down, if I'm honest with you. So, yeah, I don't want him to go. But it's all out of my hands, and that's kind of what I've just said in the press room to the lads and ladies there, because you know none of this is what I want to see happen. But because of mismanagement in the first couple of seasons in the Championship where we went down, and then continuing to pay that money in League One, it's ruined the club. But we'll keep fighting on. And again, I've said that too. We'll keep fighting on. We've got Swansea today at home. Going to be a difficult game. I've had to make 3 changes. So Goldie's going to move across and play in that attacking midfielder role. As you know, I'd like to go and get Connor Falls, but I can't. So Goldie's going to play there, and Whittaker, having scored 3 in 2, is going to come in and play in that inside forward role. So we've got quite an attacking forward 3 with lads that are willing to work on a bit of a support role there. I brought Harrison in at centre half, and he's going to play alongside Kidderburgh. And then we've had to raid the youth team. We have brought in the boy Michael Mills. He's got lots of bits, but he's only a baby. So he's going to sit on the bench for me. He's an exciting prospect. He's going to do that. Callum's training's appallingly bad, so I've just kicked him out of the first team squad. Hopefully he will be one of the players that the club look to cash in on, because 40 grand a week he's robbing a living. And we've also called up Ryan from the reserves as well. Again, at under 18s. He's got little bits. Looks like he can do a bit. He's going to come up and train with the first team squad. We've also recalled Eugene from loan. He's going to come back in and act as some cover for me on the bench with a little bit of an experienced head. In fact, I'm going to put Ryan on the bench because he's injured as well. So we're on the bus, people. We're on the bus. They've accepted a loan bid, by the way, for Gabby. Excuse me, apologies. They've accepted a loan bid for Gabby. I was going to loan the boy out, but I was waiting for 100% of his wages. They've accepted half. So this administration crew are doing my nutting already. They've only been here a week. Anyway, look, we are where we are. We're going to stay positive. We're going to go attacking. If we can get 3 points against Swansea, it says a lot about our morale in the squad. Mario's been made club captain because he's got the right ability levels to do it, but also he's standing up and dragging us through some of these games. And Kano's been made vice captain because we've sold both our captain and our vice captain. So we are where we are, right? We are where we are. Let's try and be positive. Let's try and just take the pressure off. Let's enjoy our Saturdays. Yeah. Let's try and make sure we have some fun. The PFA are covering the players' wages. We don't need to worry about anything. Everything's going to work out in the wash. Here we go. Nice to see us with an opportunity in the first sort of 4 minutes of the game. Trevs deflected. Easy for the keeper though, wasn't it? It was in a nice area as well where you'd expect us to try and hit the target. Long ball from them. Hazard knocks that down. Trevs. Whittaker over to Kano. Not known for doing that, so I'm not really sure. And he's now in their penalty area, the boys. He's completely off shape. They've tried to capitalise by going long. Can we try and win that back before it causes us problems? We look like we're back in shape, but there's 3 in the box there. And they've capitalised. Marcus Jones on that left-hand side for them, the right-hand side for us. They look like they wanted to hit us hard on the break there. If you look at that, when he beats his man, there's 3 players in the box and there's 1 on the edge. 2 on the edge. So they're pushing hard there. And it's paid off for them as they've nestled in the bottom corner. You'll notice I'm playing Vitek because I don't really like the theory of not doing right now. In spite of the fact we've got a bid for the boy, I can't afford not to have him in the sticks. So we're going to see how this pans out. Look, it's great, isn't it? It's great. It's all a learning curve. Oh, in between, by the way, we've got our A licence. So that's come out of this. Bit concerned I've got a mortgage and that, but there we go. We are where we are. Fingers crossed it'll all pan out, this, won't it? It'll all pan out. Swansea are looking to try and dictate a bit of the play, which isn't good. Maybe we should look to drop to balance to try and get a little bit more ball. In fact, I'm going to do that now. Step it back a bit. I know it sounds counterintuitive, that, but if we step it back a bit, maybe we'll just take a little bit more time on the ball. We have got the lion's share of possession according to the stats. It's just from an attacking perspective, it's not really panning out for us. Disappointing. Look like a team that wants to win, boys? Let's just step it up a little bit. Let's see what we can do second half before we start to make changes. I don't want it to be one of them things where when we start Whittaker, he don't play. And then when we send him on, he does. I don't really like that. If he's gonna kick on, the boy's done really well when he's been brought on for the last 2 games, so he's got to start. Now he's starting, he's not really taking advantage of it, which is disappointing. Can we recycle something from that? Goldie plays it back? No, apparently not. No. Okay. 60 minutes approaching. Let's just pause this now and we'll make some changes. Mario's anxious, which is not ideal when you think about his position in the squad. He's injured too, which is far from ideal. On you come, Cannon lad. Let's see what we can do there. It's not ideal. I'm going to push him forwards a little bit. Let's say get on the attack a little bit more. We're going to move to more positive outlook on the game to try and get something. There's really not a lot else I can do with what I now have on the bench, and that's the challenge. That right there is the challenge. Let's confirm those. Get that done. See what we can try and drag out this game, if anything, if we move to positive. The only other opportunity that I would have had there is to go 2 up. But, unfortunately, because Canada's took a bit of a knock, it doesn't really give me the opportunity to do it. I don't know why we've clipped it there. We would never clip it there. Luckily, that bit of a fire tackle from Whittaker's won the ball back. Kano. Short, but we've won it. Mario, what can you do, son? I love this kid. Strong, tall, really brave. Whittaker, up you go, son. No, come on. That's been the source of a couple of his goals, by the way. That inside forward role where he moves across. It's worked for him. And with a couple of the lads that have gone out, being sort of the higher skilled level players, Whittaker's got a star boost, which is interesting. But he's got to really start to show it now and start earning that money that he's getting paid. Trevs goes wide. Wilson, what can we do? Threads, Goldie. Oh, looking chain. You'd love to see him tuck that away, wouldn't you? That was a reference, by the way. Anyone get that? No? Just me, because I'm old. Winners, look after it. Trevs, boxed. No one there. Bring it down. Let's look after the thing for a minute. No. It's fair to say we've gone after this in the second half. We're going to have a go. Is it the beans? It's all us. It's all us. This second half. But you've got to take your chances when they're presented, and we've not done. It's not looking favourable. How much extra time? 7 minutes. What can we do, boys? It's rattling away. There's going to be nothing there for me, is there? It doesn't look like it. I'm stood there dejected. The Swansea manager's delighted because he's got no right to have come here and taken that 3 points. He knows that for sure. Disappointing. Not good enough. Oh, dearie me. Hopefully I managed to mute that one in time. Apologies for the cough. Everyone's telling me I've got something called a 100-day cough, which I hope I don't, because that's a long time. 4 to 7 days, far from ideal. Send the assistant to that. 5 games undefeated, then we get beat to Swansea at home, and that just shows you we've done really, really well. Really well. And now we are where we are. Look, I'm going to come back to you at the end of the month when the transfer window closes, and we'll see where we are. We'll probably do the Oxford game in the Cup, and then we'll come back and see exactly what we're doing with the transfers and how smashed our squad's going to be. But any donations, feel free to send them in. If you've liked that, you're a sadist, but drop a like on there for me. Do feel free to subscribe, all of that good stuff. It'd be great to have you along on the journey with us. Take care, and I'll catch you next time.